Hello and welcome. My name is Simon, and over the next half an hour, my colleague Olivia and I are going to share how Amazon QuickSight can help your customers and partners gain insights from your data through embedded analytics. Amazon QuickSight and visualization in general can be thought of as the last mile for data. After you've done all the hard work capturing and organising your data, now it's time to put it to use. Amazon QuickSight can help users understand, conduct research, and is a key enabler of data-driven decision-making. If you're increasingly leveraging data to make better decisions, you're not alone. Many of your customers and partners are also doing this. The data you hold is valuable, perhaps in ways that you can't readily envision. Today, we're sharing how Amazon QuickSight can help you easily deliver data and insights to your stakeholders, both internal and external, using embedding. Olivia will also spend about 15 minutes demonstrating this, so you can get a feel for how it works in practice. What do we mean by embedded analytics? We are referring to the ability to display reports and insights for both internal and external purposes within websites or portals and applications. An internal use case might be to incorporate up-to-date financial, HR, or sales information into your company intranet. Externally, you might provide information on your customers' use of products and services, or you might provide supply chain data to your partners so you can work better together. Embedding analytics from your business intelligence tool means you can deliver a consistent message and leverage the visualization and narration capabilities throughout your organisation. When you embed analytics directly within your customer's application, you will ensure it's a consistent and familiar experience. Customers today have an expectation that you will make the data you hold available to them, but also that you will deliver additional value, whether that is categorising your financial transactions in your bank accounts or telling you which was your most listened to song this year. This personalisation will help engage your customers and give them insights they can share with others, and in doing so, passively advertise your business. Actionable insights can be monetised, whether by charging for a premium for an analytics service, perhaps by suggesting new services based on customer data, or by growing your relationship with customers because they value what you are delivering, driving increased engagement and differentiating you from your competition. As announced at our global customer conference reInvent last year, over 100,000 AWS customers have used Amazon QuickSight as their BI service. Many of these customers have been using QuickSight to share data and insights with users outside their organisation. Also at reInvent, Michael Chi and Mike Brand from the NFL shared their story in person, the creation of the Next Gen Stats player tracking initiative for sharing player statistics with their member clubs across the United States, but without worrying about scaling infrastructure and only paying for usage. Danraj Siran from 3M and Usman Ismail from Bolt also shared their extranet stories at reInvent. In the case of 3M, providing an analytics extranet for thousands of hospitals to assist with demand during the 2020 and 2021 periods. I would encourage you to watch their presentations, and we'll include links for you to follow. Let's start by exploring the challenges with existing BI tools. Firstly, you have an initial requirement you're aiming to meet, a certain number of users and use cases, and you're optimistic that this will grow substantially over time. What you don't want to do is spend big upfront for your infrastructure. In fact, it would be ideal to scale up your infrastructure in real time to ensure good user experience. Being unable to do this has been a huge pain point for existing BI platforms. A server model for embedding BI also means that you're ending up managing updates and patches for software. And even if you need high availability and geographic redundancy, that's something else that you need to both design for and account for in your licensing and infrastructure estimates. In a modern cloud architecture, you need modern ways to integrate. Platforms originally built with a client-server architecture have layers of workarounds and inefficiencies inherent in their original design. Our customers want advanced machine learning capabilities in the hands of users, but existing BI platforms weren't designed to handle that. Finally, most embedded BI solutions come with a client-server architecture and have minimum licensing requirements. This means that to get started with embedded BI, you have to sign up for annual commitments on users and servers, requiring upfront investment. For new applications where usage is unknown, this means you end up committing to numbers above your projections just to make sure your system delivers when success strikes. QuickSight is designed to address these challenges. With Amazon QuickSight, you don't have to worry about infrastructure, scaling up or down, user performance or global availability. You can scale up from one user to over 100,000 with ease and cost effectively. No more investing in infrastructure for 1,000 users, even though only 50 log in. No more buying and managing hardware. No patching, no more upgrades, no more migration between versions. QuickSight is a fully managed serverless experience. QuickSight includes rich APIs and SDKs, so you can embed insights within your applications and web portals. The data onboarding and dashboard authoring is in a low-code, no-code environment, bringing self-service authoring to you and your customers and partners. With Amazon QuickSight, we built in common machine learning features, and you can also use Amazon SageMaker to build machine learning solutions to meet your specific requirements. Out of the box, the ML capabilities we built in include anomaly detection, forecasting, natural language narrative generation, and, with QuickSight Q, an ad hoc natural language query interface. QuickSight also has a pay-as-you-go model. Let's take a look. Here is our pricing model, which we believe is the first usage-based pricing model offered in BI. For a named reader, it's just 30 cents US per session with a cap of $5 per month. As an alternative, as you can see in the centre, we have a capacity-based pricing model that removes the need for named reader licenses. It is optimised to suit embedded deployments where users scale from 10 to 10,000 users. And on the right, you can see authors are charged at $18 per month. You can find out more details and a calculator on our website. Now, I'm going to talk briefly about a powerful new capability called Amazon QuickSight Q that launched late last year. QuickSight Q enables you to ask questions on your data and get answers in seconds. We have all been in meetings where someone has asked a question about the data, but no one knew the answer. Or maybe you were just looking at your daily reports and you want to dig a little deeper, or look a little further in time, or slice data a little differently. You could open up a dashboard and build a new visualization, if you know how and if you have the time. Or with QuickSight Q, you could ask your question using natural language and have QuickSight Q interpret that question and automatically build a visualization to answer it on the fly. We'll show you exactly how this works in the demonstration. But first, Olivia is going to share more detail on how simple embedding can be. Over to you, Olivia.
Thanks, Simon. At the simplest level, you can embed analytics with our one-click embedding. This approach is by far the quickest and easiest for embedding with QuickSight. All it takes is 3 simple steps. First, you need to grant access to your dashboard. Next, you need to allow list your domain. The third and final step is to copy the embed code into your application. Moving on to the next level, you can work with our anonymous embedding API. This approach allows you to quickly embed a QuickSight dashboard through a few lines of code without needing to register your users within your QuickSight account. You can display the same data to all of your users, or if required, you can restrict access through row-level security based off your application sessions. The level of insights can be enhanced through our Authenticated Users Embedding API. Like before, you can securely embed dashboards that leverage row or column level security applied at the QuickSight user or group level. This API also comes with additional support for embedding the QuickSight Q search bar, which, like Simon talked about before, allows your users to ask questions of their data without any prior knowledge of analytics. Alternatively, you can use this API to embed the entire QuickSight console within your application, enabling your end users to customize and build out their own dashboards to share with other users in their organization. Now, if you are an ISV and wondering how this self-service dashboard creation is secured for multiple tenants, we do offer security through a concept known as namespaces. To understand what this looks like, let's take a look at a typical multi-tenant architecture. Instead of needing to set up multiple QuickSight accounts to segregate and secure your users across tenancies, you can use namespaces. In the diagram here, you can see that each organization is segregated within their own namespace, which is essentially a logical container. With this approach, we can still have a centralized team building out and sharing dashboards across our namespaces. By doing so, we can reuse our assets across tenants using row-level security rather than creating dashboards for each organization, which can be very costly and time-consuming. Additionally, for certain select users in our account, we can give them authoring permission and enable them to create and share out dashboards within their namespace. This means that we no longer have to deal with the burden of creating custom dashboards based off ad hoc requests from our end users. Now, all of this is of course wrapped within APIs and SDKs that can allow us to automate this process and easily scale our assets and administration. Let's take a closer look at how we embed QuickSight by jumping into a demo. In the demo I've prepared today, I'm going to go through two approaches an organization can take to embed analytics into their environment. The first approach uses one-click embedding to easily embed a dashboard with a simple site that I've spun up. While this one-click approach can provide us with a rich level of insights, I want to expand on this and take a look at how we can use one of the APIs to include not just a dashboard, but also the QuickSight Q search bar so that our users can ask questions of their data. Let's start by looking at the site I want to embed our dashboard into. For this demonstration, I have configured a static HTML website that is hosted on Amazon S3 and served through Amazon CloudFront. I've also already created the QuickSight dashboard that I want to embed within our site. This is a sales dashboard that contains some high-level information relating to sales within my company. As a reader, I can interact with it by using the controls at the top of the page, as well as the built-in actions to filter the visuals. For us to embed this dashboard, we have to start with step 1 and enable permissions on the dashboard. With this dashboard page open, I'm going to click on the Share button, and on the drop-down that appears, I am simply going to select Share Dashboard. Now, by default, this dashboard isn't shared with anyone and is only accessible to me, the user who created it. I can share it out by either individually selecting users or groups, or by sharing it with all users in my account, which is what I'm going to do today. We can now move on to step 2, which is to allow list our domain. To do this, we click on the icon in the top right of our page, and we will select Manage QuickSight. On the menu that appears, we need to navigate into Domains and Embedding. I will have to quickly jump over to my sample site in order to copy across the URL. I just need to make sure that I remove the index.html so that I'm only copying across a domain. And you can see once I've clicked on Add, it gets added to our list. For our third and final step, we need to copy the embed code across to our HTML page. To get this embed code, we'll need to navigate back into our dashboard. And with our dashboard open, we'll head back into the Share Dashboard page and click on the Copy Embed Code. This will copy across an iframe. Now, I'm going to pull up the HTML code used for my website so I can paste this iframe in. You can see it's not a very complex site. All I'm going to do in here is paste the code inside of my dashboard container div. For visibility, I'm going to update the width and height of my iframe so that it is easier for my readers to work with. I'm going to save my updated file, and in order for this to work, I'll have to re-upload this file into S3. So within my S3 bucket, I'm going to navigate into Upload, click on my newly edited file, and hit Open. For my index file to be accessible, I'm going to grant public read access for this object and hit upload. Now all that's left is for us to test that it works. So let's head back into that site and I'll click on the refresh button. Perfect. As you can see, we have successfully embedded our dashboard into our site. Just like before, we're able to use the controls as well as the actions to interact with our dashboard. But what if there was an insight that wasn't included as part of our dashboard? What if we were after, let's say, the breakdown of sales by customer? Instead of our end users raising a ticket for this new visual, we're going to give them access to the QuickSight Q search bar and let them ask their own questions of the data. So I have already spun up a new site that uses the Embedding API. And it does look very similar to the previous site, apart from the search bar which I've embedded above our dashboard. This is the QuickSight Q search bar that our end users will type their questions into. So let's take that previous example. What are the sales by customer? And we'll see how Q responds. Now, as you can see, Q takes a few seconds to process the question being asked before responding with a horizontal bar chart displaying sales for our customers. Optionally, we can click on the bar chart icon in the top right and change the visualization type to suit our needs. Now, I know that in the back end, the dataset works with customer and sales fields. But in reality, a lot of my end users won't have that level of visibility into the dataset. So I want to see how Q will respond when a user asks a question using terms that aren't used in the underlying dataset. Let's rephrase that question a different way. This time I'll ask, what organizations have the most revenue? Q responds with a chart showing the exact same data as before. Our users don't have to type their questions a certain way or use the same fields that are used in the dataset. Instead, they can ask questions the same way they would ask a colleague. So let's try that with one more question. This time we'll ask, who had the most sales for last year? Like before, Q performs both query and data understanding to interpret the question and return a visualization showing the correct data. Because of this correct response, I am going to provide positive feedback for this interaction by clicking on the thumbs up icon. This feedback is an important aspect that I'll talk to shortly. The final piece that I want to show within the Q search bar is verified answers. These are the questions we can see here marked with a green tick. These questions have been manually reviewed and verified by our Q authors. Clicking on the first one, you can see we are provided with a chart showing a breakdown of sales by industry and region. As a Q user, these verified answers can provide a great starting point for questions we can ask. Now that we've seen Q in action, let's take a look at what is happening in the back end. Inside the QuickSight console, we have topics. And a topic is a subject area that our users can ask questions on made up of one or more datasets. For today's demo, we'll be working with a SAS topic. Within the summary page, we can see the topic's usage and overall feedback. As this is a new topic, we haven't got a lot of historical data to work with, but with time, this view will allow us to gauge the overall user sentiment easily. We can view the history in more detail by clicking on the User Activity tab. In here, we can see previously asked questions, as well as any specific feedback provided for the question. We can filter on questions with only negative feedback, and as you can see, I currently have only one. If we expand the question, we can see the comment that was included by the user. In this case, they wanted the data displayed in a donut chart. If we click into View, we can see the exact answer that was shown to the user when they asked their question. This user feedback is something we should continuously be coming back to and reviewing to help us iterate and improve our topic. So to do just that, let's move into the data page. This page is where we will enhance our topic and improve our end user's experience. In here is all of the fields included in our data sets, and you might have noticed that not all of the fields are included in our topic. Some fields are likely not going to be used in our users' searches, such as this customer ID. so we can choose to exclude them to prevent them from getting in the way. Another customization that we can do is we can add some synonyms to our data. Like we saw before, not all of our users are going to refer to fields in the exact same way. So for our customer field, I have included some synonyms such as org and organization that our end users can use interchangeably when they ask their questions. Similarly, we can create synonyms for values in our data. In this case, we can have synonyms for our customer field, so they don't have to type out the full company name. Additionally, for each of our fields, we can define the default aggregation as well as any aggregations we want to prohibit from being used. Now, because Q is a natural language capability, we really don't need to spend a lot of time in this section customizing our topic. But it is worth knowing that the more curation you do in this data page, the more accurate Q's answers will be. Now, the final page I want to show is this verified answers section. Within Q, a verified answer binds the answer to the question and lets our readers know we have reviewed these answers and can confirm their accuracy. As a Q author, we can come in here and review or edit any answers that we have marked as verified. We can click into a verified answer and view the number of times it has been asked, as well as the feedback it has received. As you can see, authoring and designing a Q topic is a fairly straightforward task that requires minimum time commitments, and best of all, no technical expertise or coding required. I hope that demo was useful and gives you an idea into the various embedding capabilities that are on offer. Regardless of the approach that you decide to take, embedding these rich insights can provide you with new ways of monetizing and differentiating your application. Now that you know just how easy it is to deliver insights directly in your application, what are you waiting for? It's time to give it a go and start building. We have a range of resources to help you on your journey. You can use our developer portal to see examples of the QuickSight embedding APIs in action, as well as view various embedding code snippets. I would also highly recommend taking a look at our QuickSight community. This site contains various knowledge articles and an online forum where you can ask our experts any of your pressing QuickSight questions. Additionally, we have the QuickSight YouTube channel, which is a great place to watch recorded webinars, how-to videos, and new feature walkthroughs. Finally, we have our Demo Central site, containing a mixture of sample dashboards, QuickSight Q topics, and embedding applications that can help you get familiar with our best practices. Additionally, we want to encourage everyone here today to take a look at AWS Skill Builder and the various AWS certifications that can be used to help you grow and validate your AWS cloud knowledge. That wraps up the presentation we have prepared for you today. We want to thank you all for giving up your time and hope this session has been helpful in demystifying how you can use QuickSight to quickly derive your data insights. It would be greatly appreciated if you could take a minute to fill out the survey and share any feedback that you have regarding this session. Thank you again for watching, and happy building!